Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome back to another episode on the Coin King channel with your girl down the crypto TA who did not make money yesterday because we were printing, baby. We printed yesterday, and let me tell you, we had some sniper entries too. Sniper, sniper entries yesterday. All right, kicking things off over here, looking at Bitcoin. We did tap our golden pocket. Before I get into Bitcoin all the way, let me just jump over here real quick because Hyperliquid looks like it's about to get another breakout. If it doesn't, I can tell you, I really want to get it down into here. Looking at this, coming back here into this 57, 159, that might not happen, but it looks like it's about to get that little breakout in here. So I figured I'd jump on that and tell you that right away. I just noticed it. All right, back over here to Bitcoin. All right, so we tapped that golden pocket yesterday. You can't see the rejection here off of the daily time frame. There is a slight rejection coming off of this off of that golden pocket, and we are at support on USDT dominance as well as stablecoin dominance. We're at support on both of those. Okay, so we could see prices get a retracement here on Bitcoin. I have not mapped out what I will be looking at on it just yet. So give me a minute with that, and we'll figure out what that's going to be if we do see that rejection in here. Otherwise, I will be looking up, and I'm aiming towards 123 unless that changes. It shouldn't change until the week ends, but that'd be my target. So just going right over the 786 here and hitting about that 123. I think that's what I had over here on the other chart. So let me zoom out a little bit here. Okay, so yeah, you can see the rejection a little bit better in here, a lot better in here, off of the golden pocket. The golden pocket isn't drawn out here, but you can tell right here that we do have a bigger rejection right here. So that level yesterday, I'm gonna tell you what happened yesterday, right? So I told you, as long as we stayed in this zone right here, I was good with this trade setup right here. Sniper entry, man. Look, it came down, hit us exactly. And I told you it wasn't about the golden pocket. It was about this little green color in here, this line that I put in here, which you can't see unless I take it away. So now you can see what I was looking at yesterday. So this was the key entry right here yesterday. We sniper entered into this right here, and we got our pump up out of the squeeze that we had over here. That we were waiting for this to play out. So we got the squeeze. Then the volatility kicks in. So the stop loss was up a little bit more. It was up to, I think it was this line, right? No. It was, yeah, about in here. So it was up to about this line right here. But I extended the stop loss down. I held my position. I held it. And I'm going to tell you why. It was nothing but straight bullish divergence. Weak low. Very, very, very weak low on that push down yesterday. I don't know how many people caught that. It was a very weak low. And the bullish divergence was imprinted so hard. I held. And I did good on Biddy yesterday. I did really good on Bitcoin. Still holding on that position. I had just took some profit yesterday when I could see that we had tapped into the golden pocket, or this morning, or whatever you want to call it. But when we tapped into the golden pocket. But you see this? Let me drop these. Actually, I dropped that one first. But you see this right here? Let me turn off all of that. We had hard bull div through here. All of this right here, hard bull div. And I was like, no way. Stay in it. And I held and we ran. Same thing down here. If you take a look down here, you can see how when we tap, like we made a lower low in here, but you got zero expansion. That's your clue right there. It's a weak low, a weak attempt to shake people out. Didn't work. But we straight up killed this entry right here. I can tell you that. Straight up killed this entry. Then we came back down and tapped it again. We had some levels in here. I said to watch, possibly put in an inverse head and shoulder, and that's exactly what we got right here for Bitcoin. A little bit of an inverse head and shoulder right here. It was off to the races. So looking good so far. But again, like I said, USDT dominance is sitting on support, and so is stablecoin dominance. So just take a look at that, because we can see a little bounce out of them every time it drops into you know, every time we drop into the trend line in here, we tend to see a bounce out of USDT dominance. Bounce. This time right here, we did get a little bit of a push over right there, but here, bounce, here, bounce, here, bounce. So that could be where we see us reverse a little bit here for Bitcoin. Based on this. So the weekend may not be all that great. Maybe we just get a little small move away from it, and then, it buys us more time to continue for that push. But we are at the support here for USDT. I did not do a hedge position. I didn't try to short. I'm not. I did not take a short position. I almost even got an inverse head and shoulder right here for dominance. So still looking to see on this right here. We've been watching this right here for a while now. Just trying to see if this, so far you could say that it was a swing fail, but we haven't come back into the pattern or anything like that, as we are again at support. So still looking for this to happen, which means we could see a huge move down on Bitcoin if this plays out. A huge move down, and that'd be somewhere around that 95 to 90 region for Bitcoin. That could be the case. Okay. That could be the case. And I got two measurements in here. I got one that's just about right in here. So I'll be looking for about 111. So 111,000, that's going to be my target. My target for Bitcoin. I'll take us back over to the chart in a minute to give you the exact, but it's 111,000 there. And then the other one is probably would see us filling that CME gap. Okay. Same thing over here. Turn that off. All right, so same thing over here. No, this isn't my chart. Here's my chart. So same thing over here with USDT dominance. Stablecoin dominance. We are sitting in the support level right here for stablecoin dominance. So yesterday, you can see we came up and we hit our rejection point in here. So that gave Bitcoin, its leg up, and this drop down. It's in support now. So again, probably see a bigger pullback on Bitcoin. Possible that we see a bigger pullback on Bitcoin from this point. Right now, we just focus on it being a bounce and nothing more. Let me see what I got going on over here on this thing over here. Sorry, just trying to see what I got going on over here on this other chart. Let's see. All right, so that was some CME stuff right there. Okay, so I'm going to maintain this as the target to the upside, which is I know I'm looking at the 123.2, which is going to be actually 122. So like 122.602, that'll be the final target right here. If we could do that much for Bitcoin, I'm not sure right now, because like I said, we are at resistance for Bitcoin, and we are at support for USDT dominance. So but this would be my final outcome, I would have to say. So not as much as I actually have drawn. I don't know, not as much as the one that you see over here. For starters. So this was another level that I was looking at right here, somewhere that we probably could have seen a rejection before hitting the golden pocket. We did manage to get through it. We tapped it right here, clean tap right there for a little bit of a rejection. Then we broke through it and came back and held it at support. So that's good. It's the same one over here from yesterday, where we were topping a little bit in here before we broke it and then rolled back over. So keep your eyes on that 118.304 next. If we manage to take out this high and get there, keep your eye on that. So that's that. What else? All right, jumping back over here, take a look at Hyperliquid. Now you know I was in the hype long. I had been holding it. Have been trying for days to get this to catch the pump on hype. Trying for days, and you guys have been here with me too, because we had some setups over here on it. None of them actually played out. We kept coming up and we kept getting rejected. I even tweeted on it like, look, when I didn't want much back here, it gave a whole ton. Like, didn't want much back here, it gave a whole ton. Now I'm trying to get it and it don't want to give it, And then I started playing this because we started, we kept putting in pressure every time, but the moves just didn't hit full target. It just didn't do it, and it kept doing it, kept doing it. Yesterday, when the market got volatile, I closed it out. I was okay with closing it out because I got focused on Chainlink because I've been sitting in this for a couple of days, just waiting for it to work out for me. And even though it was pushing up, it was just grinding real slow. It was really hard. It seemed like it was really difficult. So I was like, man, if we've been struggling like that, then maybe I should just put my money elsewhere. So I closed it out. And as soon as I closed it out and we got past data, boom. That was all she wrote. Boom. I was excited yesterday when I was like, okay, I finally made it to my TP, to my first TP, which is the golden pocket. That was nothing compared to what came next. This thing absolutely ripped. So a little saddened because it outperformed Chainlink a hell of a lot. But nonetheless, I'm up on Chainlink, and that was the setup that I focused on yesterday on stream with you guys was Chainlink, and Chainlink was another sniper entry yesterday, without flaws. Period. So Link, that's Pump. I still don't trust Pump. I told you that Pump could probably do like a triple top up here. Maybe it finds its legs and it continues to go out. I'm not trusting it until next week. I really want to see Pump get a pull down. I told you I was looking for this zone down here to get hit, this level to get hit. We came nowhere near it, but that's okay because they were trying to hold these lows in here anyway. You could see that on the chart. So far, a triple top. I really want to see this thing come down. Right now, that's what I'm looking at. And then, of course, the other ones are lower. Probably won't get that, but the chart just doesn't look good from a higher time frame perspective. It just doesn't. But it doesn't matter. Whatever they want to do with it, they'll do with it. But no. So I'm staying out of this one right here for now. Pendle's still working. Pendle was another one that I was in that I closed out yesterday as well. Once the volatility kicked in, I sent my focus elsewhere. But Pendle was a good trade, was a good entry for me though. Re-entry anyway, because I re-entered down here. No, where were we at? I don't know. But I know that Pendle was another one that was a good entry for me. But I closed it out yesterday with the volatility. But this should be, hold on. Yeah, I can use this one right here to do chain link. Which so far has given like a 6-to-1. Yeah, that's 5-to-1, 6-to-1. Coming up now to that next level. Now look at how sniper entry link was. That's the second tap. This was the first one. This was the actual first one right here. First entry, second entry. It held the target entry both times. Even when they tried to hit us with the volatility, we held. So this was where you would have got in on chain link. You wouldn't have had no issues whatsoever when the volatility kicked in over here with the entry. And then again, you can see it was not based on golden pocket of 786 because you didn't even hit the 786. But that was banger right there. Let me get this off the chart now. But I'm trying to print this one all the way up. And you can see what the TP, full TP for me, probably going to be this 24.79 if we get there. See how it reacts around the golden pocket. I'm trying to get into the golden pocket 786 zone. I took profit one time off of this one right here so far, and the rest is just sitting there. But that was a crazy entry right there. I don't see anything today. I looked in here, and the first thing I saw when I pulled this open just to kind of see what was happening was Hyperliquid. So I was like, let me take a look at that. I can see Pump right now. I probably could look at that one. I don't know how anybody feels about WorldCoin. That might be one to look at. BNB has been killing it. Straight smashing. I think it smashed over 1,000, did it not? I could look at BNB and Pump. No, I don't like Pump. I'm not looking at Pump. I can look at BNB and probably WorldCoin, something like that. See what those two look like. OP, Pendle's back in there, and Athena. So there's some stuff in here to take a look at to see if it's worth taking a trade on. Today, we do have unemployment claims. I don't know if that's going to mean anything to the market or not, but we do have that today. So, yeah, the slowdown on Bitcoin. Okay, Ethereum. Still waiting on ETH. We did break up out of our zone here, so far it's a base rally, hopefully. It's lagging behind, and that's okay. It's lagging behind. It's Ethereum. When it gets there, to get there though. So that's what we look like right now with ETH. That's all it gave from the move yesterday, which probably looks better on the smaller time frame. Sui was here yesterday, but then this little falling channel right here. This is where Sui was yesterday. Then we started getting you can see the volatility from the FOMC yesterday, and then Sui made its way up out of here. So that's good for Sui. Let me see it over here. Okay, might catch some resistance right here. Clear that, and let me see what we'll be looking at. Get that off of there. Probably actually that we're at this resistance in here. But this was the whole zone that we had been watching since we managed to flip it into support, and then we did start to coil in here a little bit on SUI. Yeah. I know that that's resistance, but if we break it again, like I said, if we break it, then we'd be looking at the weekly range right here, back up to bandwidth 1 here. That's BWAP bandwidth 1. You can see how we stopped out on it the last time. No, that's not bandwidth. My bad. That's the top side of the ascending formation that we have here off of the weekly time frame. So it could be that, either here, we don't stop out in here, then we'd be looking here next for the push up on SUI, and then possibly back up here to the top side of this right here. So that's what we got for SUI, but it looks like we did just break that 4 hour, so that's good. Yeah. So the one that was coming down that we were looking at based on the 4 hour, and it held it up pretty good right there. Looking at it from the line perspective, last time we stopped out. This time we've broken it. So, could put a measure move on this thing right here. And yeah, that'll probably put us back into here. Measure move, it looks like would put us back up here. Oh, I can't do that right now. So that's SUI. Looking pretty good. Spot long on SUI. No leverage on SUI. So we've been looking at some pretty good stuff here. So you're pushing that one right now. Yeah, we've been looking at some pretty good stuff here. What else was it? Oh, this right here. Yesterday, Ethereum, where it stopped out. I don't know if it's golden pocket or what it is. I don't know, but all I know is I will look at it like this, range, and then what the measure move is when we get a range break and we, pierce, rejected, and came back in. So you can see what it is actually. So it was a golden pocket tap. Cool. All right. Was I just saying I wanted to see? All right, 7-1 now on Chainlink. Hype might actually get rejected. It might be getting rejected and coming down to that 57, 159. That would be your level to watch for on Hype. Right in there, right between that 382 and that 50. Look like it might be doing a swing fail pattern. So if that happens, then just know that So back over here to Bitcoin. We're not really moving right now on Bitcoin. This is still a relevant place. This is that what I was saying down here about 111, just depending on what USDT dominance wants to do. This will probably be my next go-to right here. If we start to see a sell-off leading into the weekend, then this is what I'll be watching for at the moment. That could change. Like I said, that could change beyond Saturday. Beyond Saturday, that could change. So Sunday would be something completely different for it. All right, let me take a look at BNB real quick before it starts to take off again. I wanted that BNB entry yesterday. It just, BNB said I'm not letting you in. So that didn't happen. I mean, we surpassed the 1-to-1 now for BNB. I mean, what next? Good Lord, what next? This is crazy. It's gonna be worth more than Ethereum soon, and a better performer, and better on fees. Sorry, give me just a minute here. See what we got. It's not good enough for us to play around with the top, so I'm gonna leave it alone. I know I don't have you on that chart right now to see it, but it's not, it's not good enough to want to play around with the top right now. And that could have been your bounce zone where it just came from too. That could have been it. But it's completely, it's at the top. You can see how we're holding the 20 SMA through here. 20 SMA bounce, 20 SMA bounce, 20 SMA bounce. Even though you're falling over a little bit right here, that's bullish divergence. It's just a little bit too at the top for us to want to get into it. Like, yeah, it's not worth it. Let me drop this one for now. Take a look at XRPZ. Great job, XRP. Great job, XRP. Still lower. Well, I mean, take that back. Which we did. Yeah, we're okay. We're okay. XRP is okay. I don't think I need this anymore. Whatever that was. So get rid of that. Got these highs over here. A little bit of resistance through here. Nothing to see here. If we were going to play it yesterday, that would have been the place to down either over here or over here. That would have been the place for it. Solana. Let's see if there's anything worth looking at in here. Nothing that would really be worth your time right now, in my opinion. I'm just going to comb through the 15-minute on these. Actually, I need to see. I really just want to see this part right here, right now. See if there's anything through there. And if not, then it's not going to be worth your time. So I'm just going to move straight through it. Why this one got to show what might be worth your time? I have no plans on wanting to deal with this one. Pump. No. Just no. This thing is so high in the sky, but it's given... Let me look at it. I mean, it can be a trade setup. If you want to trade pump, I know it just, I can see where it hit the resistance at. It can be a trade setup though. Yeah, and it just might be. I wouldn't want to take it from where it is right now. Hopefully it'll pull back in again. You don't even have the first pivot in here just yet. So I wouldn't want to take it from where it is. Let me delete all of this right here. Probably not going to give it. I'm just going to put it in here anyway. Don't need that anymore unless it tries to hold it as support. I mean, that would be a good place to be able to pick it up. I don't know if it will allow price action to come down here and take out these lows right here, but that would be a good entry on it. 73.57. So I would just, I mean, it's a 15-minute time frame. All they could do is bear div it down here, but that may not happen. This is 6-1. I'm gonna leave it as such in case something like that were to happen for it. The stop won't be anything like that. Bring it in. So I would try to get it to at least like a 50. Just having a hard time trying to pull it into that. That could have been the bounce zone where it came up from. Like I said, it still doesn't have a pivot just yet. So maybe that happens first. And see if we can't get some sort of, I'm trying to get that 50. And probably just go right back to 48. Anyway, you can determine where your stop would be if it was to come into this right here. But that could have been it right here. That could have been it right here. If it does decide change that to 2. Then somewhere right here would be the alternative option. Would be this. But it's just consolidating right now. Of course, this entire space in here is just consolidation for it. Let me zoom out a little bit. I'm just trying to find where that range is coming from. I know I mapped it out. I mapped it out the other day, but I used, so yeah, that's the low right there. Okay. Yeah, that might have been the low. It just, I don't like it from here. That might have been the low, and it's probably just gonna pump back out of here now. But it'll stay confined to this range. At least it should. So this one might be gone. And I just wouldn't want to take it from where it is, but that's on you. What else was in here? So hype is back in here. So it must have failed on the swing. Yeah. Which it did fail on that swing. If I can catch it here, then I'm gonna take it right here. I can catch it here. All right, moving on through here. Let's just kind of see. All of these are coming back in. Must be Bitcoin related. Probably. Just in case. It looks like it's going to try to push up through 20 SMA right here. But if it gets rejected there and it comes back down to here, this could be a good setup here for optimism. If that happens, I would want to see it come in here. If it breaks out here, then it's not worth your time. So I would just scroll back through these. As we progress today, I'll scroll back through these. Yeah, if it rejects through here, doesn't manage to push up through the 20 SMA, comes back down into here, but it starts to hold this trend line right here, then it could be putting in some sort of a falling wedge and not a head and shoulder, because you could be pending a head and shoulder also. But this looked like it'll end up being a good setup either way it goes. So that's something to watch for, especially if it starts to compress in here. There's no compression right now. It looks like it will be leading into compression. So that'll be good for OP. I think I had already looked at H bar. And I didn't see anything there, so nothing there. That's just continuation. Yeah, that would just be continuation. Okay, that was Bitcoin. Okay, so it's just gonna try to go back up. Okay. Cause this yesterday. Yeah. Nice play from yesterday. I don't see anything so far other than what I mentioned. What is that? This one I just seen. Oh, okay, that's just VWAP stuff. We just missed this. We just missed this. Dang. This is trying to push through standard deviation. We just missed it. That would have been a good one. Altcoin. I don't really see anything worth your time. So I'm gonna make a note to look back at optimism. Wasn't anything on virtuals either. Optimism, and I guess it's optimism and pump. Which, like I said, that could have been it for pump. That was probably it. And pump, it has the compression in here. It's just waiting to break the 20 SMA. I mean, if it rejects right here, then maybe it can give some more coiling. Otherwise, it's gonna go. And I'm gonna sit on the sideline on this one myself personally because I don't, yeah. Mm-mm. Yeah, that's about the only thing. Bitcoin is same spot. I thought I looked at PayPay. Unless it just started dropping or something. It probably didn't look right. Oh, PayPay. Okay. So PayPay could be one. So I'm gonna watch that. Did I not have PayPay in here? I guess I don't have PayPay in here. That's why I didn't see it. I got a chart for PayPay, but I don't remember. What I might have been using, or if I still have any levels in here. I don't have anything in here for this PayPay chart, so we're gonna have to freestyle it. It looks a lot like OP. I don't want nobody to be confused with that. Because this is flat, it doesn't really matter where you put it at. I usually put it in the center on other ones just simply because I don't know where it's gonna break it, but this one's flat, so it doesn't matter. This chart moves pretty fast, does it not? I don't like charts like that. And candles be popping up like that. You got a squeeze right here too. So you actually can see the squeeze there, and then you can see it here too. This typically indicates again that you're looking for it to pump to the upside. So maybe you won't get this right here unless it has the bear dibs on the rise. I don't see bearish divergence through here. I don't see any. So I'll be looking for this to break to the upside. That's why I came to look at it anyway. So we'll watch PayPay. if that's going to be a good entry. I guess somewhere about 18 is a new go-to, right? Just choosing to snap into place there. It's 27. Actually, I'm gonna minimize it. It'll be an 11 to 1 if it can be gotten there. And that's just too fast for me. I won't be taking this. It's just too speedy for me, but it looks like it might be around this low and it'll try to hold and get the break to the upside. I can't see how that's jumpy. That just won't work for me. I need something slow like this one. Yeah, I need something slow like this right here. I'm just trying to see what pump was gonna do. So it is getting the rejection right now. Litecoin looks good. I probably mess with Litecoin. Yeah. If I could get a pullback, that would be great. If I can't, then I guess we're catching everything a little bit too late. Where it's sitting at, it could be about to break. And if not, then we might have some entries right here. Yeah, if this can hold, come down, then we could have some entries. So I'll be checking back in on these right here. And let me. Now, if this one keeps flirting with, this is going to move too quickly for me. I'm going to use this. These are probably going to move too quickly for me. For some reason, that did not show up over here. So let me try that again. This Coinbase chart. No, it's not. Let me add it so I can see it. Yeah, this is a lot more my forte right here. Sorry, just trying to get. Let me get that number right first, and then. Then I look at that and what is it? Yeah, I'm gonna look at this one right here. If we could get that, then that might be a good entry right there. It's not Pepe's over, just in case they don't want to hold here and they're looking to play out head and shoulders. Just want to be safe and not sorry. I'll probably spot trade on Pepe over leverage trading just because it's too volatile to want to mess with it. It's too volatile. I'm trying to give this some deviation because it could be this, but if I give it some deviation, then that'll make it safer. And if you leverage, I'm sorry, if you spot trade it, then you can stretch it out to a 1. And still get a great risk to reward. If you leverage trade in this, I wouldn't even bother. It would be super, super, super tight stop loss, about what I was doing before, probably about a 30 to 20 instead of the 50. But if you spot, trade it, then it's just going to be better. I'm about to check back in on Bitcoin. Just wanted to see something in here. Maybe you try to hold this now. I'm sorry, I don't like the way that looks. Maybe you try to hold that golden pocket now, but if you can get it back in here, and we'll see how it holds in here too. Because if it comes back down over here and it respects this one right here, then that could be your 15-minute play. If it comes back in and it doesn't respect this, then it wants to give more on the higher time frame. So maybe like a 1 hour, we'll be back in here to that one, and then or back to the low of the range. For the 1 hour would be somewhere between that one and that one. 15-minute, if it comes back and it holds in here, then respectfully, this could be where it actually gets to move out here on the 1 hour. I mean, on the 15-minute, or just wait for the trend line break. Either one, something like that over here for pump. That's holding. That's holding. Really don't need that. I want to see that. I want to see that. I don't need to see that. I don't want to see that. And the same thing, okay, I can see it try to expand right there. Let me check back on Bitcoin. Bitcoin's still holding up, so it's just these few right here that are just trying to sell off a little bit. That's all. A little slight rejection right there around the resistance point there for SUI. Solana still, Ethereum still, for the most part, just holding right there. Put it back here. And this you're just looking at relationship to who's in control, bears or bulls. Obviously, you can tell from the price action that bears are in control. Here you can see all this gray through here. You want to see that gray start to minimize. This was the first point of bearish exhaustion in here at the moment. Bearish exhaustion. And that's why you got the cross of the signal in here. But bears do still hold the rain in here. So you can see all the gray. You can see this is still pushing up. You don't see any white just yet. Usually when you start to see the white, that's when you can say some exhaustion is kicking in for the bears. Yeah, this one might be gone. Might be more, yeah. Look like we can be confirming the head and shoulder, which would put it down here, which I deviated over this line right here. Pump is still holding pretty good. It's in the pocket in here too, so that can be a good thing. It's in the pocket in here. Be even better if it did drop and then show bullish divergence. So I'm actually going to leave that one up for pump. Since indicated spot on this too, I'm gonna actually move that one up to since it would be spot, and you would know to let it go if it did anything more than that, because you could be in a bad place over here on Pepe. It does more than that. So that should confirm it, unless we flip into another pattern, which I don't see a low right now. So other than this one right here. Yeah. It's just way too fast for me. I don't know if I like it, period. This I like. And the bull deal would be the icing on the cake for this one. It really would be. Check back on Bitcoin for a sec here. We're still just sitting in the same range, which is why I'm not, highly focused on it. Now, if this invalidates this head and shoulder breakdown, so that means if it's able to push back up through this resistance and then break the top, that's a go. Like that would be a go. But as long as it's below this resistance, I'm expecting for the head and shoulder formation, the resistance lows down here, the lows to act as resistance and send it down. Otherwise, if it gets through here and breaks out from the top, then that's pretty strong. And then with Litecoin, I mean it could be a buy now, but I will enter on the trade if I see the bullish divergence. I don't really have, I don't have a reason to have to take a trade right now, so my hands are pretty steady from pressing buy buttons. But if I do see bullish divergence on it, that would be icing on the cake for me, and I'd be interested in taking another trade. Otherwise, I just sit on my hands for now. Even if it breaks out from here, I would sit on my hands with it. I just want to see some extra confirmation to want to invest my money right now. Pump, I'm honestly not interested in at these highs, but if it did the same thing that I'm saying, if I see bullish divergence on it, I'm going to take it. But this one especially, it just moves more my speed. And I'm not looking to do another spot position. On a meme coin, anyway, not on a meme coin. What else we got? BNB still sitting in here. Hype is still sitting in here, which I should check back on that. Okay, so Hype did get the fail. I'm gonna use Pump's chart over here, which still looking for the rejection. So Hype did get the fail, and hopefully it'll come into here and hold where I was saying that 57. I like that. It doesn't have any compression or anything like that. These are weak lows on it. You can tell it's not expanding just yet. If it starts to expand, then that'll be different, but it's not expanding. So I would have to say that it's a weak low, even though it's selling into it. So there would be great. You guys can see pump pretty good. So I mean, it does have the compression on it. You can see that it does. I'm gonna go back over to hype on this window right here. Because if it breaks out, then it breaks out. Yeah, might. Yeah, it has a higher chance of breaking out aggressively. And yeah, look for sorry, let me just tell you that right there. Let me see where the SMA is at. Let's see where it is. Okay, so it's on the trend line, which means you could look for an SFP too. So it is this momentum line that popped out right there is where it's sitting at. So in the event that it does break up through here, you could see a rejection right there. And if it doesn't reject and it pushes through and comes back and doesn't hold it, then you know it did what hype did, which is a swing failure back below this line. So, and you can see what that number is right there. I should have did that with hype too. I don't even have that on over here. So this must be where the 20 is at in here too. So that would be the same thing if it did try to break out. But if I see bullish divergence on this, I'm gonna love it. And just again, in case you weren't here earlier, stablecoin dominance is at support level, as is also going to be USDT dominance. It hits support. Usually, when it comes down here to its macro trend line, it bounces. When that bounces, that means Bitcoin doesn't bounce, which means that Bitcoin hit resistance at the golden pocket retracement. It doesn't have to be a large pump over here on USDT dominance or stablecoin dominance just to push it away from the trend line. So it could be a small little bounce as we're seeing the correction take place over on Bitcoin right now. It could be a small little bounce and then it can come back down and just keep bouncing off of this trend line. So it doesn't have to be some sort of a massive push up, but we do still have the measured move for the breakout of this ascending triangle over here. Also, it looks like it or falling wedge. Also, it looks like it could be a head and shoulder formation. Nothing is confirmed on this just yet. Again, it can simply be a small little bounce like you've seen here before, how it did that small little bounce. It could be another small little bounce off of here that does something like that and then comes back down. Like it can tag this for a while just to give Bitcoin time. And these moves over here off USDT dominance, because this is a daily time frame, it looks a bigger move for Bitcoin. So we can continue to consolidate. We can just consolidate. But if you see that USDT dominance start to blast up, I mean, you'll see it in Bitcoin too. So that happened at the same time. It won't be no surprise, but at least you can see where the support level is for USDT dominance to say, hey, okay, I'm going to take another route on Bitcoin, which would have been a great short right here. I didn't take a short. I actually got some sleep last night. I feel like I need more, but I did get some sleep last night, and I did not stare at the chart, which is different for me. I did not stare at the chart. Ethereum, no change just yet. This is a 4-hour time frame, so maybe I should take us over here to like a 15-minute. I think everything basically looks like that, or it's probably trying to break the 20 SMA or do a trend breakout or some sort of a pattern formation or something. Not all of them have the head and shoulder. Make sure it's not in the oscillator either. I don't see it in this either. But you can see right here that we might be getting the sell off on the MACD and stuff. Let's see that. We might be finishing out the move for the MACD, because right now it's corrective. So from here, where we started to chop in here before we got the full cyan continuation, which is in hindsight, unless you pair it with something else, like that massive squeeze right there on Ethereum here at the top side here for the move down. This right here is all corrective, but now they're both below the zero line, which means they can start to roll over harder. So just be aware of that. Be right back. I'll be back. Give me just a moment. And yesterday, remember, like we didn't get the closure below this momentum line over here, but they definitely tried us real hard yesterday with that push down. Look at Crow. A nice little God candle on 15-minute time frame. So about an hour and a half, we do again have unemployment. Pretty green across the board. Right now, Crow got a nice candle on that 15-minute. Excuse me. I choked up this morning trying to eat some fruit. It was a week low, but could be moving because Bitcoin just moved a little bit. So dominance, let me take a look at dominance for Bitcoin. We're at support on this stuff in here. Last time dominance, it squeezed down for a while. Probably had bear deals trying to. Not really. Yeah, it did. So it's putting in bear deals all across here on the squeeze. And then it finally got the Yeah, because it put in bear divs all across there until here. That's when it stopped bear diving. When it finally broke through it, it stopped bear diving. But you can see right here how it's putting in these highs through here. And then here, it broke that trend line regression from the bear divs. And then it started that push up. So over here, it looked like it might be bear diving again. Yeah. So we're just gonna apply that same I want to say methodology, but I don't want to be saying my words all wrong. Y'all know I'm country as heck. Stuff ain't gonna come out right. Just not. I can write it. Looks like the focus right here. I'm not gonna stay on this one, I'm just saying. Like RSI and your Bollinger percent, it look like the focus right here. All right, continuing with the rejection in here. Still holding as resistance in here. Just not getting that move I want to see for this. But still hugging around here. Altcoin, you can see from the candles, number one, if I use this, then it'll stop popping that up. You can see from the candles, number one, that they started to get smaller and smaller. That a little bit of bearish exhaustion was in there, as opposed to seeing it down here. So you can see the white now from that line dropping out of the yellow, the red. So the bearish exhaustion, bears getting exhausted a little bit in here. This could actually be the start of that breakout. Like I said, I wanted to see it put in the bullish divergence, which would have just been icing on the cake for me to want to enter. I don't have to enter another trade right now. I'm still good with what I have going. So, I'm gonna wait. If it does what I'm looking for, then I will enter on Litecoin. I like the chart. I like this 15-minute time frame a lot. Usually I'd already be in here buying. Like when I start seeing this, I usually be in here just buying, accumulating a little bit, just getting my, toes wet a little bit every time it hits a level where I feel like it could return, and I buy in, but not today. Not today. Pepe look like it's gonna push back in here. Like I said, reclaiming above this resistance, that could be hella bullish, especially if it comes up and it breaks out. Yeah, a little too fast for me, but a great spot position. I wouldn't leverage trade it. Hype came back in, it broke out up here, swing fail, broke the low down here. Nice little candle right here, and then the pushback inside of the range. Bearish exhaustion a little bit, and again, it can be because Bitcoin dominance. It can be because of Bitcoin dominance. So Bitcoin getting the little pop out of here. Yeah, Pepe breakout. Anything is good. Now I can see right here, Pepe, right here, the 1 hour is holding. 1 hour is holding the 20 SMA. So apparently, this bounce right here was a 20. That's stuff I need to delete. Yeah, that's a 20 SMA. It doesn't change the narrative discussed in the 15-minute because it is hitting resistance, trying to push back in here. And if it fails to do so, it's also going to slip this 20 SMA and it's going to play out that measured move for the head and shoulder formation that it just validated with that closure. Not confirmed yet, but it is holding through here. Giving the bears a run for their money right now, but and Bitcoin dominance kick up and all that stuff gonna continue down. All of it. Because like we said, Bitcoin USDT dominance is at support. Stablecoin dominance is at support. I was so happy yesterday, Trey, and it was like, oh, it's one of my best days. One of my most exciting days. I upped my leverage and everything yesterday. Got a lot of orders overhead. I'm gonna refresh it real quick here. lot of orders overhead versus below. But this short squeeze. That's a short squeeze right there. Just like we got the long squeeze going in. And short squeeze. I was trying to take us off of that chart and look at the this thing is hard for me to use. Okay, I see you now. Alright, so never mind, we're in the middle of nowhere right now. But plenty of orders overhead here for Bitcoin. And then we see we have this large pool of liquidity sitting here around 118,855, which is more in line with what I'm looking at, or whether the 15-minute where I long setup stops shortly before that. And then down here to the low, all the way down to about 116,230. Not much for that. Yeah, 114,601, which is that. I'm only going to be on until the unemployment claims comes out. So hopefully one of these prevails by then, unless I need to find something else, maybe in the top 100 or something like that. I did not mean to do that. Might be something in the top 100 or something. Or I don't know what else to look at. I just have to run through everything to find what to look at. I don't want Litecoin to try to break out right here. I really don't. Could get a bear div. And if it breaks out right here, then it's gonna mess up all of this, and I'm not gonna like it. I don't know why today feels like a weekend. Probably because all the excitement was yesterday. I went to the fair yesterday. Oh my gosh. The funnel cakes, the candy apples, the caramel apples, the corn dogs. I don't eat pork, so it has to be beef. They had these they call like you know how you do scrambles? Oh my god, somebody there was selling basically it's scrambles, but they called them Sundays. So I got the ribeye steak Sunday. Oh my gosh. And they put it in there with the fries at the bottom of it with the cheese and the sour cream, and I had the caramelized onions on it, and you can add all this other stuff to it if you want to. Oh my gosh, it was so delicious, so good, and just all the food everywhere, so good. The hamburgers, the hot. I mean, uh, there was only 2 hours left when I got there, but gonna be doing a fair tour. So going to my next one next week, I suppose. I didn't get to eat the candy and stuff though. The slushies, the shaved ice. I'm getting hungry just thinking about it. I didn't get to eat any of the sweets. But it looked good. It looked delicious. But fairs are so expensive. More expensive than going to an amusement park. Like they're just freaking expensive. My kind of expensive, which means I don't want to spend that kind of money on you. You know, it's not a priority. Look at height. I like how it did that. The swing fell up, the swing fell out, and now we back at the top. Looks like I may be able to move this line. I don't know. I can. So I'll move it up to that. Like that. Oh, all I wanted you to do was to give me bullish divergence. And you didn't want to do it. I mean, it's a cool chart though. I like this chart. Out of all three, I like this one, even though this one will probably give you more. pump still looks still holding in here. It keeps coming back here to this golden pocket right here. But it's hovering near this trend line. So it's squeezing in tighter towards this trend line right here. And it looks like I didn't check, but this could be where, yeah, this could be this one right here now. Probably that now. Yep, it's that now. So easy. And I said if I got the bull div off of this one, I would play this one. I'm almost getting interested in pulling the trigger. That's why I need to stay my behind from over here looking at it, because it gets me every time where I just want to play. It's fun. It really is fun playing with pump. But it's so not a good place to be playing with it. I mean, scalp, sure, but it's at the highs and it's rolling over on the higher time frame. You just can't tell it right now because it's slow. You keep seeing it pump, but it's literally rolling over. Oh boy. I like that chart though. I really want to get in now. I'm gonna wait now. If I see the bull div, I get in. If I see the bull divs, I get in. Otherwise, I mean, there'll be other trades. I can see already this other stuff moving with Bitcoin. Every time Bitcoin get that little green candle, every time Bitcoin gets a little green, those pump is doing its own thing. I will give it credit for being organic. There's not going to be a Bitcoin setup today. I'm simply just not going to be looking for it. We did the one yesterday. This is the one that we're in right now. Today, there's not going to be one because of stablecoin dominance right now. I don't want to try to get you into something and then it doesn't pan out because of that. Mm-hmm. Apparently I had plotted this other line, but it didn't sync when I did it. Oh, that's because it's not the same chart. That's what it is. Let me make sure that's the problem. Yeah. Let's see the chart. It's weird. Because if I'd have seen that, then I would have probably thought about this differently. But I didn't see it. Didn't show up. This is that same chart, is it not? It is. That line just isn't showing up over here. It's weird. It was supposed to have been a line that showed up in here. And the coordinates would have been that. It just didn't pop up over here. Because as we were getting the rejection in here, it just didn't pop up. I would have been like, yeah. Probably would have chosen that over the bull div, but it didn't pop up. It's weird. Same chart. I synced it. It just didn't show up. Now I got two lines. Might miss that one. It's already trying to push out. Could get a bear div on it. I mean, otherwise, a nice girthy candle will pop out here. Oh well. Need to move that for a second. put it back. It was showing that the line was in here twice, but it wasn't showing up over here. It kind of sucks. It can put in the bear div. You can see that already right here. You can put in a bear div right here trying to get this breakout. But see, it looks like that's what we did over here. Right here. We got a bear div right there. And a bull div off of that low. I said it was a weak low, but I couldn't see it. The slight divergence on it. But I could tell it was a weak low because we stayed flat on putting in a lower low. So unless the volume kicks in and runs this candle up through here, that could be a swing failure for Litecoin. Let's see, it's Bitcoin. Let's see if that's Bitcoin's energy right now. Yeah. Sleepy. Even though when I got back in from the fair, I went to bed. I passed out. I went to sleep. Let me see what's going on with Sui up here. So we might just be getting ready to continue that pump. Yeah. It's stalling right here because it is hitting the resistance across here. But Sui looks like it's gonna, like it might just blast on up through here. Oof. Sui look like it might just blast up through here. I see this right here, but it looked like it might just go on about the Suey business. No, that did look better. Might just go about the Suey business. That's what I like about this sort of a pattern, because it typically leads into this for trend line traders. When you get the break and the back test and then the continuation out of a falling wedge tends to lead to an inverse if you get the break and back test. So one time market makers let you see it. All right, I'm just going to run through this again because I know I'm not going to be on past the data today at 8:30. I'll be out. Bitcoin. Bitcoin hit resistance yesterday on the push up, coming into the golden pocket. So you can see here where Bitcoin came up, tapped the golden pocket. In fact, the high was what? 117,896. So skipped it by 34 cents. But it came up, tapped the golden pocket, got the rejection off of the golden pocket, and that's that. USDT dominance. Tapped support, which is this macro trend line. Macro trend line. The one that stems from down here. And every time it does that, it's a reversal point. Hasn't been strong here lately coming back into it. However, it does still bounce. Be it as small as this one right here, it doesn't matter. It still bounces. So we know Bitcoin is at resistance. This can be inverse, just like we just looked at on SUI, right? Falling wedges tend to lead to inverse head and shoulders, especially when their trend line breaks that back test, which is why a lot of trend line traders will wait for the back test and just miss out if it keeps going without them. No. Not you. Yeah. Back test. And now is it going to go? That's going to be the thing. I can move it here. That is going to be the thing. It probably measures the same. It's going to do it just for the giggles of it. Don't have an actual place to put it at just yet. And that could be C point right here. So about midway into this resistance level right here. That could be it. If that happens, we'll be looking lower for Bitcoin. We'll be looking I got two, but for starters, I'm going to be looking at 111. So I have it set up for this off the 15-minute time frame, 111. But as far as the bigger correction would go, I'll be looking down here. Down here. I need to see if I need to change this now. Maybe I don't. I will check though and make sure we get the best entry I could pull out of myself. Because this may have changed slightly, but you know we do have the CME gap down here. We have the golden pocket, 786 retracement down here. I'm sure we got something else down here too, but this is where I'll be looking at for the next entry right now. I will update you as I update the levels for it and see. Probably have to pull it off of a monthly time frame. Something that's not going to move in the coming weeks for that move down there. So if that happens, like I said, 111 right now, that's of interest right now. But this can change. This is pulled from a weekly time frame right here. I'm not talking about my weekly level because this is slightly below that. But the support that I'm looking at for it is here. But that's going to change come Sunday. So we'll see where we're at going into the weekend for Bitcoin. Ethereum, don't know. We're about to get another squeeze on ETH. Ethereum dominance, that is. So I'm going to move these lines right here. We did this little breakup right here as we got the squeeze in here off of, for Ethereum that we were looking at. Looks like we're starting to put in a new squeeze right here, which means we are building some sort of a pattern, but we're putting in bear divs. So I'm completely wrong this time on ETH. I don't have a low right now other than what we have right here. We got a bull div in here that time along with that squeeze. It may be something more relevant over here now for ETH. I have to watch for that and change some levels down here because it may be something more relevant. But we are putting in a bear div on ETH dominance right now. Although we're about to squeeze again. Just how long do they squeeze us before we see Ethereum dominance take over? Because one thing we could see for sure was Solana versus Ethereum has a weekly squeeze. A weekly squeeze, which means all things Sol could be preparing for a massive rally. That's why I want that pump to reset. If pump.fun gets that drop that we all would like to see it get, not too bad because we don't want it to scare the crap out of us. But coming into the next coming weeks, because it could take some time for that Sol versus ETH dominance to play out. But this is like the second time it's happened. The second time it's happened. So in a few years, a couple of years, second time in a couple of years. This is the first time in a couple of years, and put it like that. The first time in a couple of years that it's happened. So this can be a big deal. This could be a big deal for Solana ecosystem and Sol itself. Dang, ETH. This is stablecoin dominance again, sitting at support. Same way USDT dominance is sitting at support. Resistance, Bitcoin pumped. Support, Bitcoin doesn't have to dump, but it corrects. And maybe we put in the bear div here. It can take a little while. It took a while over here. It took several weeks. It took a few months. Several weeks. And then, of course, this is where Solana took off. Like from that $9 for Sol. Yeah, that's where it took off. Because Sol had the same situation going on right here. And boom. Yeah, see, it's been a while since it did this. It's been a long time. It's been a long time. I shouldn't have left you without a dope beat step 2. So, like I said, could bear div and do this a little bit more too. So, I won't be too much in a rush on it. But it looks good. It looks good. Let's go Solana. Let's go Solana. That's what patience would do for you right there. It's a little candle, but still. Stable coins on at support. We must abort. I'm sleepy. You know how you sleepy and you're trying to fight it, so you just become silly. You know how kids do that, and you know they're sleepy, or a baby gets fussy, sleepy, but just not getting there. That's me right now, all over the place. A nice bull div right here. That was the most beautiful bull div. The most beautiful bull div happened right here on the shakeout. Man, that was so. That is so classic right there. Look at that. Look at that huge bull div. Do that again, boy. Cause a lot of people freaking out. A lot of people were freaking out. Do that again. But here, we knew, and this right here was, I was watching somebody else's channel after the fact, and it was like, they didn't know where this pump was coming from right here, but it was a squeeze in here. Undoubtedly, it was a squeeze in here, and we were watching for this squeeze to break out. We were looking for this to hold and just push us out of here, but then the volatility came in and started messing with us. But if it wasn't for that bullish divergence, boy, if it wasn't for that bull div, and then how it didn't, the week low. Because I did close out some things. It wasn't Bitcoin though. I added some money in here. Because we knew about this rejection. We talked about that on stream. We talked about the rejection in here. And we talked about the possibility of the inverse head and shoulders on stream yesterday too, from this, and we got it. And we got to go. We got to go. And I hope everybody did great yesterday. I really do. I really do. All right, so what is that doing for us over here on these positions? Hopefully, you're like me and said you're not going to take it unless it come down here and it does what we're looking for. I want to see this one come into here again. Let's see how it does right here. It doesn't have any compression on it. That would be the only thing for me. I really like to play with that kind of stuff because I can expect something out of it. I don't mess around too much when it's at the top side, when it's red, especially when we're bullish, because they can squeeze you out for a long time with this. Even when you get the bear div, they'll squeeze you out up here. So I don't mess with it when it's up here, because you see how they did over here. I mean, you could always wait for the, actual break of something. Like this RSI, that was a good, signal right here on the RSI. But like I said, they'll squeeze you out. And it came back up right here. Or draw your trend line and wait for the trend line break when you can see that compression and stuff like that. But I don't mess with it when it's in an uptrend and it does that. I just leave it alone. Like over here, look at PayPay. All right here. And then when it went to break down, it didn't. It reclaimed that 20 SMA real quick and came back up. So I don't mess with the short signals at the top. I just don't. Because more people are going to be long in the market anyway. It doesn't require you to use leverage when you're long. And a lot of people don't leverage trade, which means more people are going to be spot position. So I just go with the longs. Yep. Bear div. Saw it coming. Keep waiting. Not 30 more minutes here. And keep your eyes on that Bitcoin dominance too, because once that thing can break the bear deals trying to push up, and if Bitcoin is dropping, it's gonna take some money back from the market from yesterday. Yeah, they're gonna take some money back. So I have scaled back. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. DEXE. Guys, I must have been up well over 100% on that DEXE that I've been talking to you all about. I must have been well up on that. I didn't even look. I haven't looked at it. I don't know who's calling me, but they're gonna get rejected. I must have been well up on that thing and didn't pay attention to it. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Again? What? Look at that God candle. I talked to you about it, Coin King. I sure did. I talked about it on the channel. I said, this thing right here, I said, that weekly time frame, I like it. I'm buying. I talked about it. I talked about it multiple times. I talked about it. I don't even know what it is. I said, I don't know what it is. All I know is the weekly time frame got a beautiful squeeze on it, and I'm buying. We were down here. At these lows right here. I said, I'm buying. And I said, it don't look like much right here. It doesn't look like it moved. It looks petty down here, and it was when we got this first pump right here. I was like, it looks petty looking at it from this time frame right here, but it has a weekly squeeze. And it used to be like $35. And when it goes, it goes. Now, I don't give financial advice, but if you were here to hear me talking about this, because I've talked about it since I've seen it. Every day I come on, I pop over here to look at it, but man, I just looked down here and I saw, and I didn't do anything more than a 5X on this thing. I just did a simple 5X, and I still got a long way to go if it gives it to me. And I hope it gives it to me. Like, please give it to me. Please. Please give it to me. Please give it to me. You see where I got in? Right here. and it had even dropped down lower because it did like what was it like 690. What was that then? What was that low? 687. And I should have bought me a little bit more. Should have bought me a little bit more, but I didn't because I don't know what it is. I just know that I looked at that chart and I said, oh yeah, I did one of my infamous things over here where I come in and I'm like, well, let me see. Let me see what's down here in the weekly. And that popped up. And I was like, I have no idea what that is, but my when I get that feeling like I want to buy something, I got that feeling. I just did one of these numbers right here where I come through and I look at stuff. And if it feels good, it's like can't remember his name from yesterday, was asking about ego. And I was like, I might can do that. I might can do ego. I might could. I didn't map ego out all the way yesterday. I just looked at a little bit of it. But it might get interesting. It might get interesting. It might get interesting. I hope I'm right on this thing right here. Only been a few times where I had a gut feeling on something. I had a gut feeling on Solana when it was $1 and something. And I had a gut feeling on AVAX. And AVAX is always going to have a special place in my heart. All right. Dexy, I guess that's how you say it. That was a nice pop out. Pop out. Pop out. Hey. Hey. Feeling good today. I'm feeling good today right now. I was sleepy. That woke me up. That woke me up. Hey, that woke me up right there. Pump it. I was just getting ready to tell you, like, I'm not holding too many positions right now. I kept I kept that. I closed out everything else I had, with the exception of Ethereum. I opened up Link yesterday, and we was here for that. So we made some money off of Link, and I opened up Bitcoin yesterday, and that was it. I still have OP. I closed out my long position on HBAR, which we had been fluctuating. I didn't even take profit at the highs, so we had a TP set for HBAR, and that was a while back, but I didn't take any profit from it. I just sat on it. I rode it back down a little bit, and then I finally decided I'm gonna go ahead and sell it because I opened up a spot position on it. So I'm just holding my spot bag for it right now. So I don't have that one anymore. I got Bitcoin. I got OP. So OP is like one of my longest holds right now. I've been in that one for about 2 months now. So my leverage positions, Bitcoin, OP, Chainlink right now, Ethereum indexing. Chainlink is going to go away, so I'm gonna sell out of that one. And then yeah, I'm gonna look to get back in on Hyperliquid, because when I closed that one out yesterday, it absolutely just pumped. But I tried to cut some exposure yesterday. I'm not gonna, I tried to cut some exposure yesterday because it could have went any way it wanted to go. So nobody's a genius on those days. Of course, it could have did whatever it wanted to do, and if it decided to dump, then I had my stop loss in place and all that good stuff. But the little bit of profit that I had left on it, because I managed to get 1 TP out of it, the rest of the money that I had in it, I didn't want to give that back, and I'd already given back most of it from the volatility yesterday. So I was like, let me just close it out. So I closed that one out, and I ended up closing out Pender as well. Just held on the Chainlink. And Bitcoin. And the one that I took for Ethereum, I didn't care where I entered at on it. I just took it. So I was in the hole for a little bit on the Ethereum one, because we were sitting in that tight range and we weren't really going anywhere. So every time it moved down in that little tight range, I was down. But I'm up now. Yeah. About 20 minutes left now. Before we get this closed, what I would look for, I mean, you can pull the fib here, or you can turn on your Lux Algo, which is a free indicator. Smart Money Concepts by Lux Algo is a free indicator. It is a free indicator. Smart Money Concept is a great way of trading also. And this helps simplifies it. You do need to learn market structure and things like that if you don't know it. But it's very helpful. I love indicators, and don't ever let anybody tell you about using. I love indicators. I study the crap out of indicators. I study indicators so hard that I can find sniper entries like the ones I give. Not the ones where I give with the zone, but the ones where I drop a single line and price comes back and taps that line and moves off of that one little line like perfectly. Stuff like that. I find that because I know how to use indicators. I study the crap out of indicators. Because what they were originally intended for, you end up learning that there's more to them than what they were just intended for. So I really love use indicators. Somebody's trading without them, they're missing a lot of information. A lot. It's like going from writing giving a bird a letter to fly to using email. Okay. We passed that. You can send all the messages you want by horse. I'm gonna use an email. I don't care. Judge me, please. I don't care. All right, let me look back over here. I'm sleepy. Oh. But I'm happy and I'm laughing, and that's good. That's good. You got 2-minute indicators on your chart. This is my chart. It's my chart. I don't care. And I can read all of them and not get confused. And if you got too many on your chart though, and it's giving you analysis paralysis, then don't do it. I use everything for something different, so don't do it if you get analysis paralysis. I don't get analysis paralysis. I don't care how many I use. I'm not getting analysis paralysis. I'm looking for confluence. Who getting along with each other? Because if you're not getting along, I'm going to separate you the same way I do over here when I shut them down. You're not playing right. You're not playing like the rest of them. You're dismissed. All right, we got we getting closer and closer to getting that little data so I can get my behind off of the stream because I know I'm a little bit extra right now. I know it. I know it. All right, Bitcoin just bounced off of our little line right here. Once again, 116,983. Anyway, uh, chop, chop, chop. Chop, chop, chop. No, that pump keep looking at me like that, and I don't know how to avoid the temptation of losing some money on pump. And I put it like that because more than likely, it could just not work out. So, and every time I look at it, it makes me want to buy it. It's getting closer to giving me that bull div that I mentioned, and that's what I would like to see before it does this little pump that it's trying to do. I like it though. I do like it. I don't like the highs, but it's tempting. It's very tempting. Might have just got some exaggerated BD anyway. Excuse me. Pay over here trying. It's trying, but I wouldn't. I don't know that I would. But it is absolutely trying. Can you hear? Might be able to consider that now. Since this line right here represents the 20 SMA off of the 1 hour time frame, it may be something like this. We know that when we looked at it, that was where it got the bounce from right here off of that 20 SMA. So it might be tilted down a little bit on the 1 hour time frame. We'll take a look at that and see here real quick. Let me just put on, I can just use this. Actually, I'm gonna put on the Bollinger because it'll give us more information here. All right, so look at the 1 hour. So it's rising instead. And price is still below it. But this is turned up. So it could be, just a temporary move down right here. Temporary bearish play. And then it manages to get back above, which would mean breaking the trend line right here anyway. So I mean, nothing is really different in here. It's all about risk management in here, to be honest with you. So if you were doing this right here, then you just have to understand that it still can be the head and shoulder, because it hasn't been invalidated. It still can be this head and shoulder in play, and it can move down here. Um, you'll want to see it happen sooner rather than later, because if it happens later, maybe let's just say that this rises up. If this low of your Bollinger pushes up and then you see price dropping down into here, then that's an expansion. So that means that you're breaking down the low, just like over here. That's what that could be. So if it doesn't happen soon, then it won't be worth considering. Want to see it happen soon. Either that or it just breaks out the top side. If it breaks out the top, then that's even better, because then you can say you reclaimed the 20 SMA, you reclaimed above resistance, these lows, the resistance, and you broke out. Oh yeah, we printing dollars. But keep it so that it's a spot position. Please. Oh, my typing is terrible as crap. Keep it so that it's a spot position. We get to move this again. So we're here now. And this is just to keep you safe from getting trapped with the breakout, and then the 20 SMA starts flattening out, and stops out price action or something like that. And then you get a swing failure pattern. Okay. That's why I'm doing it. Not just a trend line break, but actual line break, horizontal line break. The squeeze would be great. To be able to see a squeeze would be great though. That would be great, because that could open the door to volatility. Like we're squeezing within the pattern here, but again, that could still be to the downside, because it can be a head and shoulder. It can be. If it tries it again, then it might eliminate the bear div. It could. It just looks like it would be a swing failure pattern. That's what it looks like. There's no clean connection across here. Only other thing I could do would be to do it like that. It did back test and bounce off of the trend line. just don't get a chance to do this one. And I wanted to, but... And I wanted to do this one. I really did. Wanted to trade this. Well, not gonna rush on that one. This may just keep putting in the weak lows. I can see that we have the cloud cover here, and we're whips. We look corrective, and that's why we're getting all this chop through here. So it's kind of hard to use the RSI when it's like that. I just start to look for it has to be some sort of a quick move that happens in here somewhere, either that or we move back above the trend line. If you can catch a trend regression line, then that probably would be the best thing. You may have to keep moving it like that. Let me see if there's one in here that has good touches, multiple good touches, and there isn't. So yeah, this may not be suitable either. Yeah, this may not be suitable either, which makes that no good for this. Maybe the MACD. I'm not going to get anything from this right now, so I can't use that. And this isn't giving anything just yet, but I can see where we're rejecting from. I can see that. And I can look for weak lows to see if it's going to be a good match, a good suitor. So I'm going to change this line right here. And it'll probably break this one too, or it's already broken it. If I do it like that, it has. Let me see if I keep that in. Then maybe that's better. Yeah, just keep it like that. And again, looking to see if there's something worthy right here. If it is, then it shall be taken. It's 52, that's okay. And try to do that 1.618. And since we don't have a Bollinger Squeeze, just have to, I don't know. It did have that slight bull div in here. It did. About 4 minutes now, and that little data's going to come out here. Yeah, Litecoin look like it's trying to move. No, not that one. Not that one. Yeah, squeeze would be really nice. Because right now the formation is, see, we're whipping, we're It's not actually riding anything. It's just, yeah. It's not actually riding like a trend line or anything like that Litecoin. I told you that one looked better out of all of them. Look at PayPay. You PayPay. It's not a trade I was going to take anyway. And I said that it moves too fast for me. Too fast for my comfort. Go PayPay. Get Litecoin. It's always going to be the one. It's always going to be the one that I want to take. Yeah. I would have did Litecoin though. Litecoin is the one that I said I wanted to do. This line didn't show up at first. I tried to sync it and it didn't show up because if I'd have seen it on the drop, then I would have taken that because it had already did the golden pocket. So I would have did it if it did. It had to showed up when I tried to sync it, but it didn't. With the squeeze into it, heck yeah, probably. It needs to keep pushing though. Eliminate the bear D if that's possible. Otherwise, I end up redrawing this trend line over here. But look at that. Well, you go right ahead. You go right ahead. Huh. What was I gonna say about hype? A squeeze would be nice on hype though. A squeeze of the Bollinger would be nice. Right now, you see how what turned down was only the top and the low stayed flat? Bearish. It can be temporary, but that's bearish. These are still slope. It's not expanding down here just yet, but that, yeah. Yeah. All right, we got our data. Let's see what's up with that. If it matters in the world. Exactly what we're looking for on it. All right, now we were looking for a 1.7. We got a 3.2, so green, 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 green. It didn't matter. We got what we needed here yesterday. But a squeeze on this would be nice. If we start to see a squeeze within this formation, that would be even greater because right now the 20 SMA isn't riding a trend line or anything, and that makes a difference. When you can catch it riding a trend line, it gives validation to your trend line. When you see it like this right here, it gives validation to the pattern itself. So if we start to see a squeeze happen right around this pattern in here, then we can look for other confirmations for the break on it. So yeah, this is validation to the pattern that we're forming in here right now. This situation over here, I don't see why you're rejecting right now. Okay, so this situation over here is a little bit different, as it was giving validation to the pattern, to the trend line, actually to the trend line, but it did flatten out in here, which is why I put this line in here. It did flatten out. That was a strong move because it got back above the resistance. It held the 20, well, it got back above that 20 SMA on the 1 hour time frame. And yeah, and then it broke this trend line. So yeah, I mean, I love it for somebody else, not for myself. So yeah. And let me see what happened down here. So no expansion, but that looks like it's on its way. Could be on its way. We got a lot less gray in here now. Let's see who wins this battle. Do want to see the expansion though. No expansion, bear div. Bear div. That tends to happen when the 20 SMA flattens out too. All right, that's it for me. I do need to get out of here. I'd like to say thank you to anyone who stopped by to hang out with me. Please hit the like button. Thank you. Hit the like button and thank you. Lets me know that I am giving you some content that you can use, and it makes me want to continue to do it. Because I know how to quit, but it makes me want to continue to do it and at least try to find something for us. Not financial advice, but try to find some plays for us. So please hit the like button. It takes dedication to be here. So please and thank you. And it's simple. It's simple to do. So I will see you tomorrow, 5 a.m. I'm gonna actually be more prepared in the morning, just combing through. And I'll probably, you know what I'll do? If I see something earlier before jumping on stream, I'm just gonna post it on my X account, and then we can cover it throughout the stream. And then that way you can be ahead of it. And yeah, we be ready. I'm at Down to Crypto TA. I am Down to Crypto TA at Down to Crypto TA on X. And then of course this is the Coin King channel, and he is the Coin King at the Coin King on X, and that's spelled with a DA, and then it's COINKING. Be sure to follow CJ Bennett too. And David Ayo. Two great analysts over there on X. All right. And the Coin King, he's data driven. Like yeah, he knows the projects. And that's what he talks about. Like that's his forte. He doesn't do analysis or anything like that. He just knows, like he's smart. He knows when something is dropped enough where you probably want to pick it up and what's going to be a good project just based on what the team is doing and all that good stuff, which a lot of people don't care about these days. But that's where he excels at right there. Like he knows his numbers. He knows what something has potential. I mean, like, that's him. So follow the Coin King for stuff like that. All right. And I will see you in the morning at 5 a.m. I appreciate you for being here. Yeah, I would continue to look at I mean, pump could give another move. It is at the highs. I don't want you to get trapped at the highs, so I would keep it as a scalp, but it is still, this is just chopping right here, but it looks like it's probably going to go. Pump is still coiling in here. It's still coiling. So I would treat it like a scalp. Double bottomed. It hit our one. It did hit our one, didn't it? Again. You see, we came close to it when we got that drop right there, but we didn't actually tap it. We tapped it right here. So if it keeps playing around in here, cool. Especially as long as it's squeezing, I actually like it. As long as it's squeezing, it's building up pressure. So you can't expect to pop out. I would treat it like a scalp because we are at the highs, but this is going to give a pop out. At some point, it's going to give a pop out. And from there, you made some money, close it out, or set a stop loss after you can see yourself in some profits. But I wouldn't play with something that's at the top too much, but it can be good. Like it may not come down into these levels with the squeeze. It may not do that. So just keep watching this one. I think it could be a good one. It could be a good scalp play. And I will see you at 5 a.m. Peace. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Good job. Thank you. I will see y'all in the morning. Thank you.